Hello, and welcome to my channel, Infinite Possibilities Tarot. My name's Rochelle, and I am here with Charlie and Kitty. They don't usually both come over here at the same time. This is awesome. I'm doing a reading today for fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, in all placements. It is timeless in general, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Um, yeah, you've got some serious feline energy. Maybe you have cats, maybe they're just coming to bless your reading. All of the above. I'm going to start with some prosperity dust. Hopefully Charlie doesn't mind too much. Hey, good morning. One of my favorite Leos, Lioness Kitty Cat, is here. All right. Yeah, Charlie's just like, all right, I'm sticking around. I'm just going to hunker down and just be here. And now I have something in my eye. Probably kitty fur. All right. So, okay. What am I doing? Well, there she goes. Yeah, I thought the prosperity dust is awesome, but might be a little strong for her. So let me start by picking a couple of angel cards. No, actually, no. I'm going to start by reading a quote from this Think book by Dr. Robert Anthony here. Maturity consists of no longer being taken in by oneself. Wait, let me make sure I'm reading this correctly. Maturity consists of no longer being taken in by one's self. Having a more objective perspective on things, recognizing. It makes me think of the bumper sticker that says, "Don't believe everything you think." Yeah, realizing that there's generally more to the story than we perceive all the time. Um, being discerning about the kinds of thoughts that you have, recognizing when you're thinking things or feeling things, and that they may be coming from um, uh, you know past experiences, how you were raised, like, yeah, we're a conglomeration of a lot of things that um, aren't always accurate to how things are. Anyway, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but you get my point, I'm sure. I'm just gonna leave this over here, leave it open in case I need to refer to it again. I sat down and I started getting really tired. I don't know if somebody out there is feeling especially tired. Here in the Northern Hemisphere, we are heading into the winter months. It has gotten very cold all of a sudden where I am. So maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe there's something else going on. But yeah. Oh, and this is interesting. We get wisdom. And this came up for air signs yesterday, right? Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, and contentment. Okay, so first of all, we have wisdom, which equates to maturity. You as you learn, as you go through these various things in your life, you learn by experience, and you gain this wisdom. There's one of the cards that says knowledge versus integrated wisdom, or something like that. And so anyway, there's this sense of Okay, so there's emotional maturity here. There's having gained some kind of wisdom because of the things that you have had to go through and endure and overcome. And on the other side of that, of this gaining this wisdom of having kind of reached the peak, reached the summit, um, gained some kind of true clarity. And this angel is holding a lantern. It's like the hermit card. You're able to shine the light on. You're just able. It's like you act as a beacon for others because you've learned how to shine that light within for yourself first and foremost. And so this is leading you, or has led you, to this sense of contentment, of just really appreciating um, the little things. This angel is taking care of a garden. There's a butterfly, which is about transformation. And it's not just a garden, it's flowers. And really being able to stop and enjoy smelling the flowers. There's recognizing how amazing and glorious transformation truly is, what a miracle it is. You got to be broken down in order to be built up again. It's that phoenix, the phoenix rising from the ashes. It's the caterpillar turning into um, the butterfly. I just heard a term recently, phase transition. Maybe it's like a physics term or something, but yeah, death is a phase transition. Transformation is a phase transition. Okay, so let's let's go to wisdom of the oracle. Serendipity, excellent. Number 18. A change in the wind in reverse. Number 12. Flexible in reverse. Number 19. Okay. Well, you have had or have something that has aligned for you in a really powerful way, where you feel uplifted. You feel like you've been taken, and you're just, she's being lifted up by this clover. You know, serendipity is that. It's what I call real world magic. It's like things align so perfectly, and it's just, right place, right time. You talk to the right person, like something aligns so perfectly for you. And it's interesting that we have these two in reverse, because it feels like it's like suddenly everything is changing and it's out of your control. And even though it's something that is really good, it is taking you outside of your comfort zone. You're just hanging on. You're like, okay, I'm hanging on for dear life. I'm being lifted. I'm thinking of the movie Up. Um, although that was he I don't know. Yeah, ultimately something is elevating you. And there's some fear that this is bringing up because of being outside of your comfort zone. And there's kind of a need to go with the flow, to know that you things have aligned in a certain way, and it's taking you somewhere really positive. And maybe it's something that you it's kind of like, it's how things so often happen where we have an idea of what we want. We have an idea of how we think things should go, should play out, should happen. We want things to be a certain way. And then the universe steps in and, and takes us in a different direction, or somehow we are given some, different ingredients to work with than we thought would we would be. I mean, I'm having trouble articulating this, but ultimately, um, there's some resistance about how things are aligning for you. It's like, oh my God, this is really amazing, but it's not what I thought it would be, or it's not what I expected. And there's kind of like ah, because this isn't what I wanted, you're kind of crossing your arms and like, I don't know about this. And the universe is like, but that's the thing, is that this is happening. It's beyond your control. All you can do is kind of be along for the ride. And so there's something about needing to embrace what is, because it's what's happening, or it is what happened. And and maybe, yeah, I don't know. Let me keep going, because this could already have happened, and you finding yourself in a place of feeling like, I don't trust this, or this isn't what I expected or wanted. It's different. Maybe I wanted change, but now that it's here, I'm not. I don't know. I don't think I do. Like, there's some resistance here. So let me go with Heart's Hidden Secrets. Redbeard made it. Hello. Fire be like that. You want what you want, how you want it. Which is very common. Let's see. This one, let's see. We've got bluff, pretending, mask, and exaggeration. Apology, forgiveness, return, and sorry. Abandoned, left out, walked away, cold. Okay. So, okay. I mean, there's so many different scenarios here. So, apply this as you fit. I'm gonna just say the different things that I see here. Um, so this could be where uh, you were dealing with someone who was wearing a mask, who was pretending, who was exaggerating in some way, not being authentic, and they are back they come back to apologize because you left this person. You recognized that they were wearing a mask, and even though they come back with an apology, you're like, thanks for the apology, I appreciate it, I'm moving on. This could have also happened with you, like maybe you had pretended and you felt that you owed somebody an apology because you felt left out, like they had walked away. um there was something else that came to me. um it's like there could be something here where there could be a false apology. Uh, but I don't know who this, somebody here was apologizing, but not not sincerely. Um, and it could have been the kind of thing where it was a bluff. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry, and you're like, it's okay, and then they disappear again, or they turn cold, and yeah, I'm getting abandoned you once again. Um, let me just keep going. I don't fully understand. This could be a part of the wisdom that you are gaining or have gained because of having gone through something where you have dealt with someone not being authentic, or even realizing that you were wearing a mask in some way. Oftentimes we show up like we wear a mask because we feel the need to protect ourselves, to put a certain facade up. And so maybe you're like realize you're coming to that understanding because we started with that maturity, and maybe you're like, oh, okay, I see now how I wasn't being authentic, and there's an apology. But this abandoned, left out, and I don't know, maybe because there's a mask here too. An apology about wearing a mask. Anyway, let me just keep going. I'm gonna go with the what's it called? Osho Zen Tarot. Understanding, which is Knight, Knight of Water. Okay. Sorry, I was just trying to decide if I was going to read these in reverse or not. I do not want to. So we have Celebration, Three of Water. Guilt, Eight of Clouds. So there's some kind of understanding here. This equates to this wisdom, this and the maturity, where you came to a point where you were like, oh, I see the way out. Somehow things aligned. People, somebody, and this could even be like your spirit guides or something, but you were guided to the open door that you didn't even know existed but was already there, and you're like, oh, freedom. I have freedom now. And there's all this celebration, feeling like, I'm finally, I can enjoy myself. I can go fly and be free with my friends. This is a little washed out. I don't know if you can see, but there's a bunch of birds outside kind of swooping in, just like, hey, come join us. And you're like, yes, I finally made it. I'm finally out. But then we have this guilt where it's like you're seeing now. There's a feeling. There's some. I'm not sure what is this guilt, because like I want to say it could be something where you feel like maybe you're leaving someone behind, or leaving, whatever was in that cage, gilded cage or otherwise. It's like leaving that behind. You feel guilty for some reason, or there's something about feeling guilty that you finally get to be, yeah, that's a part of it. You finally get to be free, but then others don't. And maybe that's a part of this too, is that It's like once you're free and once you're like feeling really good and wanting to celebrate, you want to bring everyone with you, and not everybody is on that same trajectory. People need to learn their own lessons in their own time. But let me just see, what is this guilt? Fighting. Um yeah, this could also be where you gain this understanding and you're in this place of celebration and feeling like this freedom, but then you're also feeling guilty about, when you were stuck in that place, in that cage, feeling like there was no way out. You were in fighting mode. You felt you were feeling defensive. You felt trapped, and kind of took it out on someone, or you were really having some kind of power struggle or something. And now that you're free, you see clearly, with this wisdom. You have this new vantage point. You're shining the light now, and you're like, oh man, like I feel bad that I engaged in that, or that I was like being so harsh with someone. Or let me get one more about what this guilt is. Guidance. Yeah, I don't know if you heard that. There's a confirmation. Guidance. Again, this kind of speaks to how you were led out of a situation that was really difficult. Are being, everyone's on a different timeline here, but it's like, if you look, this angel has this person's hand, and they're looking back. And so it's like you're being taken forward and you're looking back at the cage. You have, whoever's coming in to rescue you, basically, your spirit guides, or, you have somebody who's like, let me show you the way. And you're like, awesome. But then you're also looking back at what you're leaving behind. And for some reason, that really causes you a lot of guilt, which, I don't know, guilt is one of those funny those funny things where, there's nothing good that comes out of guilt. Absolutely nothing. And yet it can be so hard to just decide you're not going to feel guilty, like, especially if you feel like you've hurt somebody, and at the time you didn't know. You were just you were doing the best you could with what you had, and what you knew. And somehow this freedom, this understanding, this serendipitous whatever is happening here or has happened, it's like now with new eyes, with hindsight, you're like, oh dang, like how could I have not seen that? How could I have not known? Why did I choose to be this way? Like, you're kind of getting down on yourself, and there's a need to recognize that um, you've been given a gift, and to just, I think that's a part of this feeling of like inflexibility, because I think there's something here where you feel like you don't deserve it, or that you need to be punished in some way because of how you acted in the past. And it's like you need to recognize, to remember that you were doing the best you could with what you knew, and with what you had at the time. And um and now you've gained some kind of freedom. You are allowed to celebrate. And this is, rather than doing your best to get out of this feeling of guilt, and get more into a feeling of compassion and understanding, because now you can make amends. You can apologize, or maybe you already have, and you're like, well, I'm going to do the best I can, but ultimately I need to walk away, because I'm being guided to leave the scene, because I have to walk away, because I was trapped before. I'm meant to fly. I'm not meant to have my wings clipped and be hanging out, like, fighting. Ultimately, you're moving into this energy of celebration. Okay, so I I want to is that what I want? Sure. Yeah, I'm going to go with the spirit animal oracle. Scarab beetle spirit. Magic works through you. 52. Which really, like I said, real world magic with the serendipity here. You have activated this, like, activated, you have called in, you have done the work. You have come to this understanding through your own process, your own, whatever has gone down, and you have matured, and you are now understanding magic in a whole new way. Like the whole idea of it is changing within you, or how you think of it. And so, yeah, you're just you have a new perspective, perception of things overall. Peacock spirit, let it shine. 46, which breaks down to a 10. So does 19. Wait, no, that's not true. 9 plus 1 is 10. No, that's right. um, so there's something about feeling like you you shouldn't uh yeah, it's like you're telling yourself, I shouldn't show how awesome I'm doing, how good I feel, how awesome I am just being myself, um shining my light, wearing my heart on my sleeve. There's all this light shining from the heart here, and for some reason you feel guilty about just standing in your power and being like, look, I I feel good. I feel awesome. It's because I'm tuned in and tapped into this magic now. It's like Harry Potter's coming in. You don't you're afraid the muggles are gonna like judge you or get down on you or something. Um Antelope spirit, life is speeding up. Number 2. Yeah, so you're tuned in, tapped in, you're feeling this magic, you're being lifted up, and it's all the momentum is growing, it's building, and you are just going faster and faster. Your heart is opening. You had to leave something behind. You have made your amends as best you could. Maybe, yeah, I mean, you know, regardless of whether somebody accepts it or not, you've done what you could. And so now it's time for you to really just stand in your power and your authenticity, and do your best to step out of that feeling of guilt, because it's not helping you in any way. You are meant to shine. You are meant to move forward. You are the fire. You are meant to dance and, like, be in the flow. The fire is always moving, and you're you're having trouble allowing yourself that for some reason. So, um okay, yeah, yeah, numerology deck. Creativity, number 3. Um which change in the wind is 12, which breaks down to a 3. So, you're some a part of this change that, like, you have no control over is that you are suddenly tapping into um a creative part of yourself. You're feeling, I don't know, like more in the flow, inspired. Creativity comes from inspiration. It's like, you kind of, you're thinking differently, you're feeling differently, and so you want to express this in some way, whether that's, some form of art. I mean, creativity can be any number of things, like it's how you live your life. You're changing how you live, how you see things. You're just creative. Yeah, like creative problem solving, creative. There's something else. Spiritual partnership 27 breaks down to a 9. So does serendipity. So does 18. So serendipity, you have been aligned, are being aligned with somebody in particular. There's some kind of partnership here. This could be um, a newfound connection, partnership with your spirit guides, even with the universe, whatever you consider your higher power. Um, but I feel like you're doing something with, somehow your creativity is like coming in. Maybe you've sometimes felt like you're not a very creative person, like, I'm not very artistic or whatever, and it's like there's something, your whole understanding of that is changing, and then you're going to be like maybe collaborating with someone because you are having some kind of spiritual growth, understanding that that's a part of this magic. Magic works through you. You are seeing you're understanding your own divinity. You are divine creation, and therefore everything you create is divine as well. Rebirth 16, there it is. You are having a rebirth. And if you think about the process of birth, I mean, I was talking about that. You know, the phoenix rising from the ashes, the caterpillar turning into the butterfly, that phase transition. It is a messy, painful process. If you think about a child coming through the birth canal, like we've all done it, in some form. Even with if you were a C-section baby, whatever, you still, it's like you go from one environment to another one that's completely different. And especially like, if you imagine coming through a birth canal, you're like getting squeezed like, over and over again. And it's just like, yeah. And then you have to go through a very narrow opening to get to the other side. The caterpillar, it completely dies. It turns into caterpillar soup before it gets rebuilt, remade. Um, and so this, it makes sense why there's resistance here, why you're having trouble going with the flow, because you're just like, okay, this is really good. Everything's aligning, but oh my God, it feels funky. It's not a comfortable process. So, dang. There's more. I want to get some radical abundance cards. Oneness. Talk about a misshapen head. Luck. Luck is on your side. I also don't believe in luck. Luck to me is just it's another way of saying, things are serendipitous, things are synchronistic, things are aligning for you, because magic works through you. Both of these cards, by the way, are green, which is the heart chakra. Let it shine. Um, get one more. Energy. You have a newfound energy. Celebration. Having fun. You have all of this newfound energy because you're like, oh my God, I can fly. I'm not trapped in some cage anymore. Everything is aligning for you. This is you coming to this. This is a part, this oneness is a part of this rebirth, the spiritual partnership, the spiritual growth. You're like, oh, I am one with everything. Like you're, there's a sense of contentment and everything aligning. This is a part of life is speeding up. All the good is happening. You're going somewhere. Internally or externally or both. He's got a backpack on. And you're like you're paying attention to the messages. You have animals, your spirit guides are speaking to you through animals. Possibly birds. Birds are messengers. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be birds. But I mean, we have a fish here. We've got bunnies. We've got, I mean, all this energy and there's all this water that's flowing. It's like your emotions, as your heart opens, the emotions flow. Um, there is financial success here, financial abundance. There is you you may be connecting for maybe somebody out there. There is something here about coming together with someone in a romantic way where there's also a spiritual partnership. Because I'm just looking at the two bunnies there that are hanging out in the water. It's like someone who is emotionally mature at the same level as you, because as you have leveled up, you attract in someone who also has done the same. And it's like, you know, two people who really get each other. But not everyone's on that path. Like this could also just be like, you've got people who are on the same wavelength as you. You've got those friends who have helped you to get out of your cage, who have offered you guidance out of the nightmare, basically. So, okay, I need to finish. I'm gonna get I'm gonna finish with a rune card. You are so sweet, Redbeard. No, you're the best. Okay, let's see what we've got. Tiwaz. I think that's how you say it. We will find out shortly. Okay, so biking up the mountain with your buddies. It's a lot. It's a lot of work to get up that mountain, but once you get to the summit, yeah, there's a lot of good that comes from it. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, I said it right. Tiwaz. A key theme for this rune card is the sort of passionate leadership that takes into consideration the greater good. It may suggest the need for self-sacrifice, but if you can find the strength and self-discipline to work for the benefit of all, rather than just yourself, you will reap rich rewards and the respect of others. Victory is indicated here, but only if you proceed with personal honesty and consideration for others. Yeah, that's a part of this letting it shine. You need to be proactive, not reactive. Now and find the courage within to take whatever action is needed to achieve your goals. Find the courage. Find the courage to be flexible and go with the flow amidst some major change. Don't take action for the sake of taking action. though, as this card is also a warning against rashness. Be cautious and open your mind to the opinions of others. Ooh, that's a part of this flexible card too. And it's connected with the spiritual partnership. Being open to collaborating. Weigh up the pros and cons, know where your strengths lie, and then move forward with justified confidence in your ability to be a committed and successful leader. Yeah. See, it's like it almost makes me think of like you make it to the top all by yourself. And then you're like, "Hey friends, I know how to get to the top now. Follow me. I'm going to show you where to go. I'm going to show you how to do it without like, like kind of being able to navigate, finding the right path." So, there's something about you being a leader as well, even if you're just leading by example. But, people with with fire in their chart, um, a lot of fire in their chart, tend to be really great leaders. If you're working from the light side, not the shadow side, and you're just like, okay, I'm thinking of everyone. I've gained this wisdom. I've matured. I understand, and now you can show the way. You are becoming a way shower. And there's a lot of contentment that comes out of this. So it's awesome. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Sorry, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you on the next video. Mwah. And thanks so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And leave a comment if it resonates.